And we are going to go in-game and see how this happens.
Of course, this is Group A in our ESLTV exclusive invitational tournament, and there are 4 groups, A, B, C, and D. And also...
It's very good, Matt.
Yeah. And so this is the first group, and the winner of every group is going to go head-to-head for the finals, which will be in a few weeks' time. And before then, you're going to get to see such players as Inflame and such teams as X6 in action. The highlight of Group A so far today has been Ensidia, and these are the guys who we are going to be watching now up against edawgs. I'm following Calamis at the moment. Unsure who he's targeting.
Well, no one at the moment, because he probably can't see anybody. But anyway, you can see in the screen, that's the cooldowns that are available for this guy. So you can see Vanish, Mutilate already, Kidney, Cheap, Cloak of Shadows, Rupture, pretty much, and even Eviscerate. Everything's up for him. You can see here, you can see like 2 seconds like cooldown on Power Word Shield. And then you can see now it's available again. Well, not 2 seconds cooldown. It's basically almost instant. But on the people, and you can see the debuffs that these guys get. So yeah, pretty much the UI should be able to tell you everything you need to know. But of course, stay with the commentary, and we're trying to keep following what's going to happen and what potentially will drop. In an RMP versus RMP, everything is a target. Rogues drop, priests drop. We have to see maybe if someone gets a good open on the priest, and then people scared that they're playing, how they're going to play and look to protect him. But no one's actually got near. You can see that actually this is a Hydra we're following. Calamis just over to the left of him, keeping real close, looking to kind of defend versus the opposing rogue, who is all the way back in his starting area. So both of these teams, not sure who wants to go aggressive. You can see actually Rayleigh has actually used Sprint. He's going to want to get opening into the fight. Actually a poly onto Hydra. Hydra did go aggressive, and he is actually being dispelled off. So Hydra a potential target now. He's going to take some damage. Instant pain suppression from Hydra onto himself. Poly is onto Calamis, going to be re-polyed as well. Hydra put into a stun, going to get Calamis out of it. Calamis is going to peel for Hydra though. Going onto the back of the other row, which is going to be Rayleigh.
Yeah, pain suppression has already been used by St. George, and that early burst from Calamis and Red Koala straight onto Rayleigh was very, very effective. They already did respond earlier with a poly, but can he do it again this time? He's going to be the one who's targeted by Calamis.
Oh, and actually Calamis taking a lot of damage. Cloak of Shadows at the moment, going to get some heals hopefully soon, as Hydra comes out of that poly. We're following at the moment Rayleigh. He gets put into a cheap shot, taking damage. He's going to get a channeled penance. That's not going to... And look at this, edawgs are going to take down Calamis, and honestly the damage, and I mean it was Hydra is one of these players I imagine probably just got bored of how the game was going, went aggressive, got polyed, got dispelled.
That's the kind of player
he missed the important Shadow with death actually, but he was, when you're forced under pressure to heal a teammate, it's very hard to hit him. So we are going to go into round 2. edawgs are going to go 2-0 up, and suddenly the ESLTV Invitational is coming alive here in week 1. Yep. STG on Priest for the team of edawgs. Happily not under too much pressure last game, easily getting, I'm not sure if his penance was actually offensive or defensive at the end, but certainly they did get a kill. Red Koala into the center, going to exchange Ice Lances.
Yep, and Rayleigh is sitting right at the back at the moment, just waiting for Ensidia to make that first move. Red Hot has been spamming the occasional blizzards.
I wonder if Rayleigh realizes if we keep spectating him here every game, that when the next RMP you're going to play him, they're just going to like blizzard the entrance from like that pillar or something. So, well, but yeah.
Calamis is moving around a fair bit, and by the looks of things, Hydra mounted up. They might make a move any second now. They're probably just waiting for Calamis to get that perfect opener. It does look as though he may go for the sap any moment now.
Actually, he's on the he's with his teammates, so unless he wants to sap Hydra.
Well, he's just sort of floating around that back area, and
we're going to sap his teammates.
Well, he was he looked as though he was going to venture over towards the other side, but
when did they give Rogues blink?
Sitting out. Just sitting it out. Well, he sort of contemplated it, didn't he? He contemplated it.
You're the mind reader, not me. So Red Hot is going to be put into Sheep. That's going to be dispelled. Going to take no real damage and just lost basically some of his mana. Actually, here we go, Matt.
Oh, look at this. Calamus
Matt.
does blow the sprint, and it does.
Oh my God.
He did have Sayori targeted, who's already in combat, so that's a no-no.
Actually, Red Hawk's going to get double dispelled from those polys. So a possibility now. Improved counterspelled as well. Calamist, we see where he is. He's actually by his priest now, going defensive. Rayleigh just super playing defensive here, and actually look, Black Cat poly onto the priest.
He's sitting back a bit too much, sitting back a lot too much, because he might, you know, there might be a big delay when this game does kick off, which seemingly it has. Sayori taking a fair bit of damage.
Yeah, Sayori's actually used like a mana gem as well. He's going to pop invisibility now, going to get back into action. But actually, look at this. St. George is going very, very low. Let's switch over to him, sorry. It's going to be actually Divine him very, very early. A good decision, actually. That's going to keep his rogue up. The rogue was the target in that situation. Switching over to Red Hot. Is going to break fear with Will Forsaken. Going to poly onto the opposing mage. That's going to be dispelled. Going to not be dispelled the second time. There we go. Finally, a dispel comes in. Actually, polyed is once again going to be Hydra. Calamist not taking damage there, and actually it's going to be Rayleigh taking damage, and that was a huge amount of damage, and really nicely done. Calamist was at half health, but he got the opener in that situation, and basically I do believe that the priest looked like he was on the wrong side of well, it would look like he was here, and the rogue was dying here, so it was a little bit too late in position. Could have been an improved counterspell, would have finished it off anyway.
It was poor positioning from Rayleigh. His Cloak of Shadows was on cooldown, so he pretty much couldn't get back around to his priest. He did use it a bit early. Not sure. I mean, he used it earlier in a situation where it wasn't really that needed. You know what? You are right about Hydra not being generous. He actually threatened me a few days ago. He threatened to put a clip from him playing me in 2v2 in Season 1, me and my friend from Denmark, and they were playing us with a human. Hydra was playing human priest at the time. His partner his partner was human as well. Yeah. No, he was playing a dwarf priest. Of course he was dwarf. His partner was playing human rogue. They had perception every single round, and yeah, I was playing horde, and
you lost.
Yeah, we lost. Yeah, but what can you do against in 2v2 rogue priest mirror? What can you do against human stone form and the old perception? This was back before the changes. This was when only
yeah, and even Hydra on
when
priest,
dwarfs had fear walls, and no one else
not only
did.
the rogue had war glaives, so did Hydra.
Nah,
crazy. Oh, Calamist actually going to be put out of his potential attack with Frostnova. Does preempt the Fan of Knives. Isn't going to grab though Fedin. Actually, there came it looked like a blind actually came out early there. Not sure if that was the case. Calamist is going to be somewhat put under pressure. All fears have been currently broken, so second round of fear might force a trinket or at least dispels. Finally, a poly that was going to be broken onto Calamist. He's going to sit into it now.
Yep.
Cloak of Shadows used on Rayleigh, following Calamist still.
Rayleigh finally gets away, and again he uses his cloak.
Dangerous. This is really, really dangerous. Improved counterspell onto Rayleigh, the mage.
Yep.
Not going to follow up with a sheep though. Calamist is going to be caught into a fear, but no one else. Not really put out of position. Actually, he's going to take a lot of damage, and surely he's going to go down, and he does. And Calamist was the rogue really under pressure from the moment go. As soon as that Frostnova hit, they seized the chance to win, and edawgs basically, you know, I mean that's a little bit of lady luck, admittedly, to pull that to pull him out with that Frostnova. If that was the case, when we go check out the VODs, of course all these games will be VODed, uploaded to the internet over at tv.esl.eu, and just click video on demand, and we'll cut each game up and you can watch it over and over again.
Yep, you can watch them in very high quality as well with an ESLTV premium subscription. I've got one and it's well worth it.
Yeah, Matt couldn't afford it. He got it for free, admittedly. Red Hot actually put into a sheep, going to get spam dispelled off, and is going to get dispelled. Pressure is going to be mounting onto St. George, following Red Hot at the moment, looking for a poly onto the opposing priest.
Yep.
Looks like he does finally, a poly does go off, actually onto the rogue. Rogue on rogue at the moment. Calamist is the one that's in a kidney and just came out with a pain suppression on him. So pain suppression will be used. Calamist forced to use Cloak of Shadows and and evasion. You can see actually Ice Block used there to stay aggressive.
Blown pretty much all his cooldowns actually. He's also used his trinket, that's on cooldown. He used his blind on Sayori to get the early trinket from him, and so it looks as though Red Hot is going to try and get some sheeps off onto the mage.
Yeah,
a lot of pressure on.
Calamus actually has no pressure currently, and the evasion is used by Rayla, so Calamus has to vanish to try and get away. He looks like he did get pulled out of that vanish. It does open up. Here we go. His evasion is going to be used now, and actually a nice cross. That was a complete switch around of wow, that was absolutely crazy. That caught me off guard. That was a complete switch around of damage, and well, Calamus just turned that one around, and the amount of damage that they threw onto him must have had a control onto the priest at the time. Really nicely done, but honestly, one of those situations maybe where edawgs felt that they had the ground, they had the you know, the higher advantage. All right, so we are going to go into the final round. The score is going to be 2-2, edawgs versus Ensidia, a game worthy certainly of the grand finals, but we are in the upper bracket finals, soon heading over to the lower bracket finals. Whoever loses this will join them, and the winner will wait in the grand finals to see how they play out. I'm sure a lot of people over at Ensidia.com will be watching this, waiting for their new PvP team, see if they can have the kind of success that certainly Ensidia's PvE team have, getting the first like hard mode kills on pretty much everyone, especially Minoron. And actually, speaking of that, actually Icematics also downed Minoron today on hard mode. So GG Icematics. All right, and he's still in the tournament now. So anyway, Frost Nova there, going to cut Surya. He's going to blink away into the center. Sap onto, I do believe that was the priest. So I'd imagine that was the friendly priest of edawgs, still following Surya, trying to pop out that rogue. Isn't going to get onto him. Going to switch over to Raelin, looking for an opener. Actually has Calamus targeting now. Potential of opening up onto him. Does go onto the back of Calamus and does it into the blind. You can see the blind is actually trinketed from Hydra. Hydra has trinketed that blind. He's going to do a him at the bottom there. Really nice play from Hydra. Surya doesn't notice it and isn't going to be doing anything. Surya takes a lot of damage. He's going to ice block and then come back out. Raelin going to back away, try and reset. We got another divine him used there as well from STG. So both of them used at the moment. In comes a fear from Hydra. That's going to catch both. One's going to be willed. The other one's going to get dispelled off. Raelin looking to go back onto his target, put into a deep freeze and taking a decent amount of damage, and surely this is going to be a lot of damage. In comes Hydra's Holy Novas, pain suppression up, it's a little bit late, possibly in a good situation, but surely he's dropping down 900 HP, does get healed up with 2 ticks of a penance, and at the moment his priest can heal him, and Raelin does get away, and that really nice poly onto Davy Jones, could turn this around onto a kill onto Calamus. Can they get a kill onto Calamus, a counter kill? Davy Jones is going to come out, Hydra's going to come out of that poly now, and in comes the penance, gets put actually back into a second poly. Calamus is going to go down, and we have a cross kill. Absolutely fantastic play. And well, I actually spoke to the admin before this, and I said if this happens and we get into a situation on ESLTV where we just have a mage priest versus mage priest that's going to last potentially 40 minutes, we will have a replay of the match.
Just a bit more information for anyone watching for your earlobes. We do have... I've completely forgot what I was supposed to plug now. You threw me off.
Yeah, mate. Real professional. And once again, it's Ensidia versus edawgs. Ensidia's first ever tournament is being played here at ESLTV. We're so happy these guys and everyone can play. I know it's going to be late. We tried to make sure this tournament didn't run over 2 hours because otherwise some people were playing up until midnight. But still, we're doing our best to kind of keep the games coming, streaming in.
So this one is going to be the decider in this battle of the RMPs, and it's going to be on Blade's Edge. You are witnessing edawgs, a relatively unknown European RMP, going up against the mighty Ensidia with star players such as Red Hot and Hydra. And to tell you the truth, these guys have just been undoubtedly the favourites for this group, for Group A, and with good reason. They've had so many tournament appearances over the years, although not as this Ensidia lineup with Calamus in the picture.
All right, so we are going to go in then to, once again, which could be the final round, hopefully, unless these guys get another cross kill. We're going to be on Blade's Edge. Actually, looked like Red Hot was going aggressive. He's going to get spammed, dispelled, not having any buffs actually at all apart from Spirit on him. Oh, actually, he's got Brilliance.
Calamist actually got a sap off on Rayleigh at the start. He's blown his trinkets. He what looked like he was going to do a lot of burst, but Rayleigh got away with a lot of speed. He's got Saori targeted.
Actually, Hydra is actually into a full poly at the moment. Calamist dropping back. Actually gets pulled out and almost gets onto a Saori. That's going to be nullified by, Ice Block. Saori taking a massive amount of damage. Actually, the poly is onto the Priest. Saori needs to go defensive. Obviously, he's going to die in hypothermia. Gets pain suppression. Calamist, what was that? Looking maybe for a kick. Looked for a blind. That looked like a blind came out. Calamist now is going to be the target. Pain suppression up onto him. Saori is left alone now, has enough time. St. George is going to be under pressure. He's popped, obviously, pain suppression on someone else. He's dying in kidney. Does get put into a fear afterward. Davy Jones, Hydra, was put into a poly, but St. George is surely going to go down, and he is going to die. And, well, I mean, so much damage onto the mage left him somewhat in a vulnerable situation in the center. Really nice control and really good fear from Hydra to come in just after the kidney was out, just to add an extra global cooldown. I mean, Hydra didn't need to heal. He didn't need to do anything in that situation, so that fear was really nicely timed and dropped.